And just like at hydrothermal vents, chemosynthetic bacteria colonize the seeps and harvest energy from the chemicals. Methane oxidizing bacteria are the primary producers at cold seeps. They consume methane and produce organic compounds that other organisms can use. Some of these bacteria are free-living, forming thick mats on rocks and sediment. Others live symbiotically inside mussels and clams, housed in the animal's gills or soft tissues. Cold seep mussels, like Bathymodiolus, are often the same genus found at hydrothermal vents, though they're different species. They position themselves where methane-rich seep water meets oxygenated seawater, providing their bacterial symbionts with everything they need. The bacteria oxidize methane, the mussels absorb the organic compounds the bacteria produce, and everyone benefits. Tube worms are common at seeps too, though they're different species from the riftia at hydrothermal vents. Some seep tube worms have roots that extend deep into the sediment, sometimes a meter down, searching for buried hydrogen sulfide. They look like fields of white flowers growing from the seafloor, their plumes swaying gently in the current. Clams are abundant at seeps. Some species grow enormous, reaching sizes never seen in shallow water. They too house symbiotic bacteria and spend their lives half buried in sediment, filtering seep water through their gills. One species, called the ice cream cone worm, builds a tube that resembles an ice cream cone sticking up from the seafloor. Its body extends down into the sediment, accessing chemicals that other animals can't reach. Over time, the methane seeping from the seafloor reacts with minerals in the water, forming carbonate rocks. These rocks precipitate slowly, building up around the seep, creating hard substrate where there would normally be only soft sediment. The rocks provide attachment sites for mussels and tube worms and become the foundation for reefs that support a diverse community. Some cold seep reefs are hundreds of meters across, ancient structures that have been growing for thousands of years. Cold seeps play an important role in regulating methane emissions from the seafloor. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, much more effective at trapping heat than carbon dioxide. But the bacteria at cold seeps consume most of the methane before it reaches the surface. They act as a biological filter, keeping greenhouse gases locked in the ocean instead of releasing them to the atmosphere. Scientists estimate that without this bacterial consumption, methane emissions from the ocean floor would be significantly higher, potentially affecting global climate. Cold seeps have been found in every ocean at depths ranging from 15 meters to more than 7,300 meters. They're especially common along continental margins, where organic matter accumulates and tectonic activity creates pathways for fluid migration. The Gulf of Mexico has hundreds of known seeps. The coast of California has dozens. The Atlantic margin, once thought to have few seeps, has been revealed through recent surveys to host more than 1,000 distinct seepage sites. And like hydrothermal vents, cold seeps are ephemeral. They can remain active for centuries or shut down suddenly if the fluid pathways become blocked. When a seep dies, the community must disperse or perish. But unlike vents, which require specific geological settings, cold seeps can form almost anywhere sediment accumulates and organic matter decomposes. They may be more widespread than scientists currently realize, hidden on the seafloor, waiting to be discovered. Descend into the ocean, and as the sunlight fades, another light takes its place. Not reflected light, not refracted light, but light produced by living organisms. Bioluminescence, the ability to create light through chemical reactions. In the deep ocean, bioluminescence is everywhere. An estimated 90% of deep-sea organisms can produce light in some form. It's the most common form of communication on Earth. more widespread than any sound or visual display. In the darkness, light is information. Light is survival. The basic chemistry of bioluminescence involves a molecule called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. When luciferin reacts with oxygen in the presence of luciferase, it produces light. Different organisms use different versions of luciferin and luciferase, and the reactions produce different colors and intensities of light. But all bioluminescence follows the same basic principle. A chemical reaction releases energy as photons instead of heat. Most bioluminescent organisms in the ocean produce blue or green light. These wavelengths travel farthest through water. Blue light can penetrate hundreds of meters, while red light is absorbed within meters of its source. So evolution has favored blue-green bioluminescence. It's the most efficient, the most visible in the ocean's depths. Some organisms produce light themselves, synthesizing luciferin and luciferase in their own cells. Others rely on symbiotic bacteria to produce light for them, like the anglerfish with its glowing lure. The bacteria live inside specialized organs called photophores, supplied with nutrients and oxygen by the host. In return, they glow. The Hawaiian bobtail squid, which lives in shallow water, has a light organ on its underside, colonized by bioluminescent bacteria. The squid hunts at night, and the glow from its light organ matches the moonlight filtering down from above. Predators looking up from below see the squid's silhouette disappear against the moonlit surface. This is counter-illumination, the same strategy used by fish in the twilight zone. The squid carefully controls the brightness of its bacterial light, dimming it when clouds cover the moon, brightening it when the moon emerges. Deep-sea fish use bioluminescence for many purposes. Some, like the dragonfish, have light organs near their eyes that act as headlights, illuminating their surroundings. Others have patterns of photophores along their bodies that may serve as species recognition signals, allowing individuals to identify potential mates in the darkness. Some creatures use bioluminescence as a defense. When threatened, they emit a bright flash that startles predators, buying time to escape. Others go further, ejecting clouds of bioluminescent particles that glow brightly in the water. The predator attacks the glowing cloud while the prey flees into the darkness. Copepods, tiny crustaceans, are known to vomit bioluminescent fluid when threatened, creating a decoy that draws attacks away from themselves. Certain jellyfish and comb jellies can create rippling waves of light across their bodies, producing patterns that confuse predators or attract prey. The patterns flow and change, mesmerizing, beautiful even though no one is watching in the darkness. The cookie-cutter shark uses bioluminescence for hunting in a particularly clever way. Its entire underside glows with counter-illumination, making it nearly invisible from below. But there's one dark patch on its throat that doesn't glow. From below, this dark patch looks like the silhouette of a small fish. Larger predators rise to attack what they think is easy prey. Instead, they encounter the cookie-cutter's jaws. The shark takes a circular bite from the larger fish and swims away, leaving behind a distinctive wound that looks exactly like someone used a cookie cutter on the victim. Some deep-sea squid produce light in ways that seem almost like art. They can project patterns across their skin, creating displays of dots and waves and flashes. Scientists believe these displays might be used for communication between squid, a visual language spoken in bioluminescent patterns. But without being able to observe squid behavior in detail at depth, much of this remains speculation. Perhaps the strangest bioluminescent creature is the barrel-eye fish. This translucent fish has a transparent dome on its head, and inside that dome, visible through the clear tissue, sit its tubular eyes.